Hello, my name is Patty Anders. The focus area for my speech is going to be maternal, infant, and child health. Since that is such a broad area, I'm going to narrow the focus and talk about goals for reducing preterm birth. Reducing preterm births are important to all of us because of the dramatic toll they take on the healthcare system, family, and infants. The 2020 Healthy People Goals for reducing preterm births can be found on their website at www.healthypeople.gov. The goal is a 10% reduction from the rate of 12.7% to a target of 11.4%. A preterm birth is any birth that occurs before 37 weeks gestation. Healthy People also has separate goals for infants who are born very premature. The current levels of very premature births are 2%, and the target is 1.8. So again, about a 10% reduction. The U.S. currently compares poorly to other developed countries in our rate of preterm births. We are ranked 131st out of 184 countries, according to a recent 2012 report by the World Health Organization entitled Born Too Soon, the Global Action Report on Preterm Birth. We're even behind countries like China and Rwanda. Preterm birth is a serious public health issue. It accounts for 1/3 of all infant deaths, according to the March of Dimes, and around 500,000 babies are born preterm in the U.S. each year. Sadly, these rates are even higher for African American women. They are 1.5 times more likely to deliver a premature infant compared to a white woman. Also, in general, the lower the gestational age at which a baby is born, the higher the risk of mortality and morbidity for the infant. There are many complications which can occur for infants who are born premature, such as respiratory distress syndrome, brain bleeds, jaundice, abnormal heart rhythms, and apnea, inability to regulate body temperature, poor feeding, and a serious condition called necrotizing enterocolitis, which can occur from intestines being immature. Preterm births are very closely linked to the health of the mother. Maternal conditions such as being overweight or underweight, maternal smoking, the mother's age, being under 17 or over age 40, can all contribute to preterm births. Also, lack of prenatal care, having no access to a healthcare provider or no insurance, and poverty contributes greatly. And then, of course, there are also pre-existing conditions of the mother and pregnancy complications, such as preeclampsia or gestational diabetes. The epidemiology of preterm birth basically breaks down into 3 categories, according to the March of Dimes. 30 to 35% are due to premature rupture of the membranes. Another 30 to 35 are for maternal or fetal indications. Conditions such as preeclampsia alone account for about 20% of preterm births, according to preeclampsia.org, the Preeclampsia Foundation's website. So it is one of the leading known causes of preterm birth. However, spontaneous labor and delivery is by far the leading cause. It accounts for about 45% of all preterm deliveries, and the cause is often unknown. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention is the agency in charge of monitoring preterm births in the U.S. And the National Center for Health Statistics collect data on preterm births, mainly obtained from birth certificates. There are prevention strategies for preterm birth. First, we should eliminate all deliveries preterm unless they are absolutely medically necessary. We can work to reduce maternal smoking. Only implant one embryo at a time in cases of in vitro fertilization. Provide progesterone shots for women who've had a preterm birth previously. We can also invest in research for conditions like preeclampsia so that preterm deliveries aren't medically necessary. Besides just the medical problems of preterm birth, we should address the social problems which lead to preterm birth. Universal health care is going to be a big step. Also having maternity case managers for those in high-risk populations to make sure that women are going to prenatal appointments. We should also have community-wide education of doctors, families, the community as a whole on the importance of babies being born full term. In summary, the costs of preterm birth are very high. They add an additional $26 million in healthcare costs a year to the economy, according to the March of Dimes. And that monetary effect does not even reflect the harm that they do to families emotionally, or the health impacts that they can have long-term on infants. For these reasons, preventing preterm births should be a top agenda item in the effort to improve maternal, infant, and child health. Thank you. Have a good day.